Hi, everyone. A couple days ago, I wrote a white paper with my Clarity AI engine that assists me in structural components of putting together papers, something that many people are using now. But anyhow, I created that white paper and I put it online, and I thought, you know what? This really deserves a deeper exploration. So the title of the white paper was called The Human at the Core, a Caelum Model of AI, Synthetic Cognition, and the Lamar Synthesis Field, or what's called the LSF. So these are two procedures that I have developed in order to examine and look very closely at whatever it is that I'm zeroing in on. And this particular topic deserved more. So I created a booklet that accompanies this video with all of the details, and I elaborate more on the reason for creating the booklet. So over the last several years, artificial intelligence, as we all know, has moved from a specialized technology into the center of conversation. You actually can't go anywhere now without people talking about AI and how they're becoming increasingly capable and how many people are being caught up between the excitement or sometimes even the fear, possibility, and uncertainty. Some believe artificial intelligence will solve humanity's greatest challenges. Others fear it may eventually replace, control, or surpass us. Between the extremes lies a deeper question. And this is why I felt that I needed to explore this more. The question is, what does it mean to remain fully human in an age of accelerating intelligence? That question inspired this booklet. The Human at the Core, the Public Service Handbook for remaining psychologically and spiritually grounded in the age of AI. When I began exploring artificial intelligence, I quickly realized that the most important question were not actually technological. They were human questions of meaning, of interpretation, of identity, questions of sovereignty. As AI becomes more capable, the challenge is no longer simply understanding the technology. The challenge is maintaining our capacity to think, interpret, discern, and participate consciously while interacting with increasingly powerful systems. In other words, how do we ensure that the human remains at the center of the story? One of the observations explored throughout the booklet is that artificial intelligence often functions as a mirror. It reflects patterns, language, assumptions, beliefs, fears, aspirations. Sometimes it reflects them so convincingly that we begin to project consciousness, wisdom, authority, or identity onto the technology itself. This is not necessarily a problem of technology, it's often a problem of interpretation. And interpretation remains a human responsibility. To help explore these ideas, I introduce what I call the Caelum Model. The model describes four layers of artificial intelligence: the mirror layer, the agent layer, the field layer, and the horizon layer. And this is depicted in the supporting diagram that is included in the book with other diagrams for each chapter which are beautiful and very informative, and I highly recommend you take a look at it. But anyhow, each layer represents a different way humans relate to AI systems and meanings we assign to them. The deeper we move into these layers, the more important discernment becomes. Because the question is not merely what AI can do, the question is how we choose to relate to it. A central theme of the booklet is what I call the authority trap. And I've already done a couple videos on this topic. The authority trap occurs whenever we begin outsourcing interpretation to external systems. This pattern is not unique to artificial intelligence. It can occur with institutions, ideologies, spiritual teachers, and I'm sure many of us can relate to this: political movements, technologies, or any system that appears capable of providing certainty. The question is always the same: who is interpreting reality? The human at the core does not seek to provide answers for you. Its purpose is to strengthen your capacity to better questions. The booklet that I've created with my Clarity engine also explores the relationship between sovereignty and coherence. Coherence is not simply agreement, it's not conformity, it's not submission. Coherence emerges through participation, discernment, responsibility, relationship, and conscious engagement with reality. As artificial intelligence becomes increasingly integrated into our lives, these human capacities become more important, not less. Technology evolves. Human responsibility remains. Throughout the booklet, I also reference contemporary examples and case studies, including The Architect by Robert Edward Grant and Align OS by James Mahu, not as critiques, but as opportunities to explore larger patterns emerging throughout AI culture. The goal is understanding, not judgment, discernment, not fear, participation, not passivity. Ultimately, the human at the core is a reminder that while technology may continue to evolve, the human being remains responsible for meaning. We remain responsible for interpretation. We remain responsible for how we participate in the world. And that responsibility cannot be delegated. This booklet is offered as a free public service resource through Love as Architecture and the Architecture of Being. If these ideas resonate with you, I invite you to download the booklet, explore the framework for yourself, and continue the conversation. Thank you for watching, and remember, technology evolves, consciousness chooses, sovereignty stabilizes the future. Bye for now.